fellow learners, myself Gyan Prakash Yadav, faculty of School of Management Studies, UP Rajarsi Tandon Prayagraj. I welcome you all in this video lecture in which I will talk about the management. As we know, the management is very important subject, and nowadays it is increasing day by day the importance of management. Even it was present from the society from its beginning, but it was not felt very much. But as soon as time passes away, it was felt that management is a very important activity that takes place in the organization or institutions. Considering the importance, today I have choose the topic of management. This topic is also useful for the students of MBA, BBA, BCom and MCom students. Management can be defined as the attainment of organizational goals in an efficient and effective manner through planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. Management is a process that optimizes resources of the organization for effective achievement of its goals. The optimum process refers to getting maximum output of minimum inputs. So, we can say the management is a process by which we try to optimize the results with the help of minimum inputs. This is the art of management. If we talk about some important definitions given by a few thinkers of the management, in that we can say that Terry and Franklin's view, management is a dynamic process consisting of activities of planning, organizing, actuating and controlling, performed to determine and accomplish stated objectives with the use of human beings and other resources. The other thinker, Mary Parker Follett, it is a very famous thinker of management. He says, management is the art of getting things done through people in organizations. It means management is an art by which we are getting the things, we are getting the objectives for which we are planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling the activities of the organization. F.W. Taylor told, management is an art of knowing what is to be done and seeing that it is done in the best possible manner. There are so many methods. Because of F.W. Taylor as a staunch devotee of scientific management, he was thinking science in each and every aspect of management. That is why he told that this is an art of knowing what to be done and seeing that it is done in the best possible manner. His concentration was basically on the best possible manner. And in the words of Henry Fayol, management is to forecast, to plan, to organize, to coordinate and control activities of others. In words of Kuntz and O'Donnell, management is the creation and maintenance of an internal environment, an enterprise where individuals working in groups can perform effectively and efficiently towards the attainment of group goals. It means, if we consider all these definitions, so we can say that management is an art of getting things done through others, means we are looking to optimize our output with the help of minimum inputs. The concept of management, there are few concepts of management in which management as an activity. Management is an activity, it means like the other activities, management is also an activity which is taking place in the organization and most of the works are being done with the help of management. Management as an economic resource, there are few resources of economic resources like land, labor, capital. So, we are managing the people or labor. So, that is why management is an economic resource. Management as a process, this is a process in which so many things are taking place. As a process, if we define as a process, any discipline as a process, it means there are few inputs and by processing we are getting few outputs. So, management in which man, money, machine, material, method, there are few inputs. By processing of these inputs, we are getting goods and services and other things. Management as an academic discipline, we can also understand that management is an academic discipline This is taught in the academic institutions, universities or the other colleges. Management as a group. Management is also known as a group. There are few peoples, they frame the group, so this is also known as the group. In these groups, it may be the top level management, it may be the lower level management, or it may be middle level of management. Some features of management, if we talk about the features of management, so we can say the management is goal oriented. Management is goal oriented, it means the management is looking to achieve few goals who are already fixed by its policy makers. So management is goal oriented. Management is universal. It means this is spread in all part of the organization and each and every level of the organization. That's why management is universal. It is not being done by only the lower level or the top level or the middle level managers, but it is done by all part of the organizations. Management is a continuous process. Again, this is a continuous process. This is not a one day affair or it's a one shot affair, but it is continue in the organizations till the life of the organization. Management is intangible. Another feature of management is that it is intangible. It means we cannot see it, but we can feel it. As I told in my beginning, that most of the time people talk about that's a good management or the bad management. Even they could not see it, but they can feel it that whether the management is good or bad. That's why management is intangible. Management is a social process. Because of the subject is related with the human beings and man is a social animal. That's why the management is also a social process. Because of so many things management considered on the basis of the society. Management is multidisciplinary. Management is multidisciplinary because of it is also told that there are so many experiences of different subjects like psychology, anthropology, economics and like other subjects are included in the management principles. So this is a multidisciplinary subject in which other subjects are also included. Management is situational. It is very important feature of management because of the situations are responsible for making the decisions and the practice of management. Management is situational. So many situations arises in the organization by the basis of which the decisions are being made. If the situations are not here or the situation will be the different one, then the activity will different. That's why management is situational. Management is a group effort. The peoples are working in the organization. I also told in the beginning, when the man was living alone or the organizations were not very large in the size, so there was no need of the organizations or management. But when we started in the groups, when we started in the large organizations, then it was found that there are few groups, and with the help of the groups we can achieve the objectives of the organization and we made the group effort. Management is an executive function. It's definitely it's a very executive function. It is being done by the managers of the organizations or the policy makers who are making the policy of the organization. So it is an executive function. When talk about the nature, so what is the nature of management? So there is a discussion between the nature of management, and it is found that management as a science or management as an art or management is the experience of both. So first we talk about the management as science. First we will talk about the features of science. So we can say in science there is clarity of concepts. Definitely science makes a very clear concepts. And another one, the clarity of theory. The theory is also very clear. The systematized theory of knowledge. Science is a systematized theory of knowledge because scientific principles are applied in a systematic manner. Scientific methods, also the observation, formulation of hypotheses and experiment of phenomena are studied by scientific methods. Then the very important one, the cause and effect relationship. The most important feature of science is cause and effect relationship. Science told that there is some definite cause behind any effect in the universe. It means if the cause is same, then during the all observations effect will be same, and it's vice versa. universal application. The principle of science is universally applicable. They are applied without any discrimination. These principles are applied in all culture, situation and countries. So these are the few features of science. And now if we talk about the management, then how it is science, so we can say there is also the clarity of concepts and the clarity of theory in management. The management thinkers are still trying, and they have tried even their best. The principles of management are being formulated by those. Systematized theory of knowledge is also in the management. The principles are universal theory of management, whether it's scientific management or any other theory, motivation theory or other theories, they are systematized theory of knowledge. Scientific methods, still the management is trying to develop scientific methods. They may be true like a science. And the cause and effect relationship, this is also being found in the management. As we can take the example of motivation theory, the needs are the cause and effect is motivation. This is also like the science cause and effect relationship. And universal application, these principles, the management principles are applied in each and every organization. So this is universal application also. So we can say the management principles are science. The another view, that is management as an art. So for the art, there are some required skills, the personal skill and practical know-how, result oriented, the creativity and continuous practice for perfection. These are the features of the art. In any art, these features should be there. And if we talk about the management, how it is art, so the application of skill and knowledge by manager to coordinate the efforts of his subordinates is like an art. The concrete practical results like profits, growth and social services are achieved by management in a given situation. Management is result oriented. New and different situations are converted into outputs. Creativity is much more required in management to achieve results. The different situation needs creativity like arts. The continuous practice is required to achieve the perfection in management. If you go for the continuous practice of the management, then you will be able to make very effective decisions. So we can say the management has also the features of art. Now we can say what is exactly management. Even the few features are like science and the few are like arts. So that's why it is told that management is a soft science. Management as a soft science, because of, if we talk about the cause and effect relationship, definitely the motivation theory of Herzberg, as he told that the needs are the cause and effect is motivation. It is true like science, but in the science we can also measure the result and the input, but in management we could not measure, as how much motivation we need, for that how much need is required. So we cannot measure here. Here this subject lacks, that's why it is a soft science. So management is a science and the principles of management are true like principles of science. In the science we can measure in the quantitative terms, but in management it is not possible because this is related with the human behavior. As I told earlier, in the case of the needs we can measure, but being related to the human beings we cannot say that how much needs are required as in motivation theory. Science is present at this level, but if we try to measure the motivation level, or if we want to increase or decrease in the motivation level, then we could not answer that how much needs will be required. This is the feature. That's why we are saying that management is soft science, because of it is the mixture of science and art. It is obvious that management principles are not fully scientific, but they are in some part of science in these principles. Therefore, the nature of management is called soft science, because this is the mixture of science and art. As a profession, nowadays management is known as for its profession, as it is known for its profession. Like the other professions, the management is also emerging as a very important profession. So what are required for the profession? So we can say the well-defined and organized body of knowledge. In each and every profession, there is need of well-defined and organized body of knowledge. A well-defined and organized body of knowledge and problem is found to be well equipped with a well-defined and organized body of knowledge. This systematized body of knowledge consists with principles, theories and techniques. Cause and effect relationships are established by these principles and they had universal application. The another feature, learning and experience. Profession is known for its learning and experience. The subject knowledge is provided by education institutions and experience also teaches to such professionals. As the managers will get more experience, they will be more efficient and expert professionals. Code of ethics, it's a very important feature of the professions. Code of ethics governs the functioning of the professionals. This code of conduct is guiding the professionals to do their activities in very right and effective manner. Management professions also has its code of ethics. Professional qualification, formal qualification and training is required for a profession. Doctors, lawyers and the chartered accountants can practice only after acquiring formal education in the respected field. Like the same, management professionals also have qualification by which they can practice. Association, every profession has an association to regulate the norms and exercise the practice. The standard of performance for the professionals is established by council. Management professionals also have an association to regulate the profession. There is also some dispute whether the management is above the administration or administration is above the management. So there is a discussion between management and administration. So few thinkers or the few schools says that management administration are different. They are the different activity, management is different and administration is different. In another view, administration is above management. This view is basically given by the American thinkers. They told that administration is above the management or the administration is a elite work and management is a part of the administration. But the reverse of this concept, this view, the European view is saying that management is above administration. Management is above the administration and administration is the part of management. But in the modern era or in the era of the human resource management, we can say management and administration are the same. All the factors, all the activities, all the practices are same in management and administration. There are few levels of management when we talk about the management. So there are three types of levels of management: the top level management, middle level management and the lower level management. In the top level management, the CEO their subordinates are in the top level management. In the middle level management, the manager, the supervisors are in the middle level management, and in the lower level management, the other staff who are assisting to the middle level management and they are directly involved in activities, they are in lower level management. To perform the activities in the organization, it needs few managerial skills. The skills are required for effective management, known as management skills. These skills are required for each and every level of management. The management skills are conceptual, human and technical. Even all these skills are needed for every level of management, but degree of these skills varies from level to level. As I told, there are three levels of management: top, middle and lower level. The skills are also three: the conceptual skill, the human skill or behavioral skill, and the last one, that is the technical skill. The conceptual skill, you can see in this figure, the conceptual skill is much more required for the top level management, and the human skill or the behavioral skill, that is the second type of skill, it is required much more for the middle level of management, and the last one, the technical skill, this is required for the much more to the lower level of management. Top level management, which is involved in the policy formulation and the plans, so that's why he needs much more of the conceptual skill. His concept if the top level concept will be clear, then they can formulate a very good policy that will be fruitful for the organization. The middle level managers or the middle level management, they needs much more human skill or the behavioral skill, because they are working as a bridge between the top level and lower level management. That's why they must be very expert in the human skill or the behavioral skill. And the last one, the lower level people, they must be much expert or they needed much more technical skill, because they are directly involved in the operational level and they are doing the job, they are doing the work, so they needed much more technical skill. Already I told that even all the skills are required for all level of managers, but much more the percentage, this is only the percentage which is much more required for the different levels. Importance of management. After this we can say why the management is very important. The first one, that is the optimum utilization of resources. The management can ensure the optimum utilization of resources, how we can utilize our resources to get the maximum output with the help of minimum input. This is the work of management. That's why it is very important to optimum utilization of resources. The second important, that is the economic growth. If we are looking for the economic growth, then the resources should be utilized in a very right manner, in a very effective manner. That's why they can ensure the economic growth. For the economic growth, it is best that the resources are utilized in their best manner. Achievement of group goals. If we are looking to achieve some group goals, then management is very important, because with the help of management we can coordinate the activities, we can plan the activities, and we can control the activities. So this will be helpful in the achievement of group goals. The next one, that is fulfillment of social obligation. There are so many obligations, social obligations, because of a man is human being, a man is a social animal, and if he is living in the society, if he is working with the his colleagues, so definitely he can fulfill the social obligations. Meet the challenges of change. The business environment is very dynamic, it becomes very dynamic, and the changes are taking place day by day. So the management is able to meet the challenges of change. Few challenges arises in front of the peoples, in front of the organizations, and the management is able to meet the challenges of the change. As far as we can say, if the technology is embedded in the organization or implemented in the organization, so this is a challenge with those peoples or the organization who are not much expert in the technology. So meet this challenge, only the management can do it. Human development is a very important factor. Human development, we are looking for the human development. In the modern era, human development is much more stressed, because of this is only one resource which can be developed. In the factors of production, man, money, machine, material, method, only man is the one resource which can be trained or the developed, and this is the one resource who can change the other resources or who can utilize the other resources in best effective manner. That's why human being is very important, or the labor is very important, or the man is very important, and he must be considered for the development of human beings. By this way we can say that if we are managing in the best manner, in the very effective manner, so the human development will be also ensured. Stability. The management is also important to provide the stability in the organizations or in the society. It can provide the stability by producing the important products and other services that can enhance the living standard and other things to make a stable society. Functional areas of management. If we talk about the functional areas, there are 4 functional areas of management. The first one, that is the production management. The second functional area is marketing management. The third one, that is the financial management. And the last it's a personnel management. Nowadays, it is also known as human resource management. We talk about the production management, then we can say the production or operation management is the area of management so as to produce the products and services. Their products and services should be available in right quantity and quality at the right time and at the right cost. It consists of the following activities. First one, that is designing the product, in which we are going to design the product. Location and layout of plant and building, it is a very important function, where the plant and building location will be and what will be the layout of these plant and buildings. Purchase and storage of materials. Materials are very important because we are going for the production process, so material are required, and how you will purchase and what will be the storage of these materials, it is very important because of in the production line there should be always availability of the materials. Planning and control of factory operations. The operations, the factory operations who are taking place in the organization, they must be planned and controlled, because of if they are not planned and controlled, so they may be harmful for the organizations. So repairs and maintenance, this is another function. We always go for the repairs and maintenance of the plants and the products also. Inventory control and quality control, it is a very important function of production management, inventory control and quality control. If the quality is not controlled, so definitely the products will be absolute and no one will purchase them, so the organization will ultimately suffer. So quality control is very important, and the inventory control is also required to minimize the cost of the production. Research and development, this is another important function. By the research and development, we can ensure a good quality products at the very right time. Marketing management. The marketing management includes the identification of consumers' need and supplying them the products and services which can satisfy those needs. It includes the following activities. Marketing research to determine the needs and expectation of consumers. In the production activity, we produce some products. So it is very important that our product will be accepted by the consumers or not. So marketing research can determine the needs and expectation of the consumers, and once we are getting the needs and expectations of consumers, so we can design our product in that way. Planning and developing suitable products. Planning and developing suitable products. Expectation of consumer is for such type of products, then we can plan and development according the products. Fixation of appropriate prices. The price is very important factor. So what should be the exact price? We can fix it by marketing management. What is the cost, and then what is the advertisement cost? So including all the prices, we can fix for the appropriate price of a product. Selection and right channels of distribution. Once a product is in the market, so what will be the right channel of distribution? How the consumers will able to get this product? That is very important function. Promotional activities through advertising and salesmanship to communicate with the consumers or customers. So promotional activities are also very important. How you will advertise the product, and with the help of salesman, how they will be available to customers or the consumers of the product. These are the activities of the marketing management. And now the financial management. Financial management ensures the flow of funds in the business with suitable and fruitful financial policies. It involves the following activities. Estimating the volume of funds required for business. The money is working like a blood in the body. As the blood works in the body, the same thing is with the funds. They are also like blood of the organizations. So it's a very important that what will be the volume of the fund which is required for a business. Determine the appropriate sources of funds. Once you are determining the volume of funds, so it is very important to determine the appropriate source of fund, from where you will receive the fund. Raising the required funds at the right time. How you can raise the funds when you are in the need, it is also very important function of financial management. Then ensuring proper utilization and allocation of raised funds so as to maintain safety and liquidity of funds. This is another very important function. And then administration of earnings, where you are earning, what are the earnings, so it should be administered by the management. And the last one, this is the personnel management, or I also told that this is also known as the human resource management. Nowadays, it's the era of the human resource management because our stress is on the human beings. We are talking about the development of the human beings. So now the name is as the human resource management. Personnel management involves planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling the procurement, development, compensation, maintenance, etc. of the human resources in an organization. It comprises the following activities. There are few activities who takes place in the human resource management or the personnel management. The first one, that is the manpower planning. First we made the plan about the manpower, how many peoples are required and what the category of peoples is required in the organization. First we made a plan. The policy makers, the managers made a plan that with the help of manpower planning, how many peoples are required and what the qualifications should be there and how many kinds of the people is required. It is being done in the manpower planning. Once we made a manpower planning, then we go for the recruitment and selection. Recruitment and selection is a process by which we acquire or we receive the peoples in the organization. Recruitment is a process to stimulate the competent employees, competent peoples to apply in the organization, and selection is the process in which we finally select the peoples. Once you are recruiting and selecting, then the another function takes place, and that is the training and development. The person who is recruited or selected, it may be a simple graduate, it may be a postgraduate, and he doesn't have the experience of the organization, so it is required that he must be trained and developed according to the organizational needs. That's why he will go for the training and development, in which we enhance the knowledge and skill of the peoples or the employees. This is also being done for the existing employees. Once he is struggling with his skill or with his knowledge, then he will also join the training and development to enhance his knowledge level or the skill level. Placement and induction. Once a person is recruited and trained, then he will get a placement in the organization and he will be inducted with the other environment of the organization. Another one is that the appraisal function. An employee is working in the organization, then his performance should be checked whether he is performing up to the norms or not. This is being done in the appraisal function. And the next one, that is the compensation and promotion. Once an employee is working in the organization, then he needs compensation because he is devoting his time, his money and energy. So definitely he needs compensation, and if he is doing better, then he will get promotions. Another one is employee services and benefits. In this function, we consider about the employee services and his benefits. Any employee is devoting his time, his money, energy and his life even for the organization, so his services should be also considered for the organization, and he must be given some benefits that will be helpful for the motivation of the employee. Personnel records and research. This is another function by the personnel management. He keeps the records of the employees and do the research that how it can be effective or how it can be do better. There is another discussion about the managerial functions. There are few managerial functions, and the different thinkers are saying about the different functions. Managerial functions are basically the activities that are done under the management process. There is no single list of functions acceptable to all, but some functions are accepted by all. In this row, Henry Fayol classified managerial functions into planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating and controlling. R.C. Davis classified them into planning, organizing and coordinating as part of control. Luther Gulick made a popular keyword, post-core, which means planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting and budgeting. Kuntz and O'Donnell has classified into planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. And most of the thinkers are also agree with these functions, that planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling, these are the managerial functions who takes place in the organization. If we talk about the management as a process, as I told in the nature, This management is a process. So, how it is a process? That there are input with the help of, this is the process of management, these are functions of management, and then we are getting some output. So, inputs are man, money, machine, material, method. These are the inputs, and the processing of these inputs with the help of planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling, the management will get goods and services, productivity, growth, taxes and employment. Now, we talk about the functions of management, were planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. So, what is planning? This is a primary function of management, followed by other functions. Planning is the process of deciding the objectives to be achieved and selected the ways and means of achieving the pre-decided objectives. We can say that it is a process of decision making regarding what to do, how to do, when to do and who is to do it. Even it precedes all managerial functions, but it is closely related to controlling. Organizing is creating a structure of relationship, assessing work of two people in hierarchy along with authority and responsibility to attain organizational goals. It divided the work into units and assignments of work to each member, defining their relationships with each other to coordinate the work of all members in goal achievement of the organization. Staffing, the another function. Staffing is related with the appointment of the people at work. It is process of filling vacant positions in the organizational structure. Staffing is a pervasive and continuous function that ensures the right kind of people at right time on appropriate job. The staffing involves determining the requirement of people at various organizational levels, appointing and retaining them at those levels. These appointed peoples should be retained with the help of training and development. The next one, that is the directing. This is the function of management in which the peoples are guided, motivated and directed by managers. They are led by managers to achieve the organizational goals. The plans are being into action by the process of supervision, communication, leadership, motivation and team building among all peoples of the organization. Motivation, leadership and communication are the basic concepts of that directing. The last function, that is the controlling. This is the last managerial function by which it is ensured that whether the objectives laid in the planning function are successfully achieved or not. The main steps of controlling are setting the standards of performance, measuring actual performance, comparing it with standard performance, find deviations and taking corrective measures to remove those deviations. This is closely related with the planning, because of in planning we decide the standard, we decide the performance, what should be given by the employees, and then in controlling we measure. That is why it is much more related with the planning. Managerial functions and managerial levels. Again, these functions are being practiced by each and every level of management, but still the percentage of these functions vary from level to level. As far as in the top level we talk, the planning function is the very important for the top level function, because they are involved in the planning, they are doing the planning, they are executing the plans. So, it is a top level function. Much more practiced by the top level, and a very few part of the lower level and few part from the middle level. The organizing is also, most of the organizing is done by top level and few from the middle level and then few from the lower level management. Staffing, this is basically function of middle level with the consent of the top level management, and few is also practiced by the lower level management. Directing, this is also again most of the is done by the middle level management to control and to direct the lower level employees or the employees who are on the primary level, who are working, who are directly involved in the operations. And that last one, that is controlling function, this is much more related with the lower level employees. They are doing the activity, they are producing, they are directly involved in the operations, so they need much more controlling. Dear learners, today we talk about the nature of management, its concepts, and the functions of management. You can see this video lecture in uprtou online study, and you can also send your comments. It will appreciate to us, and we can improve in our next lecture. So, thanks to all of you for listening and seeing the lecture very carefully. Thanks to all of you.